Alright, the little Kubota is leaking oil out of this seal in here, the rear axle seal. I don't know if it's caused by the string that's gone around it, or if the previous owner has wrapped that around to try and stop the oil leak, but it is losing quite a bit, so I'll put a block under there, jack it up, take that wheel off, and I believe I'll have to undo all these bolts here, pull the final drive out, and take the shaft out to get to the seal. I think some of them you can just pull the hub off the shaft and pick the seal out, but I think this one here is welded on, so you can't pull it out. Yeah, it's all one piece by the look of it. So yeah, jack it up, pull that wheel off. We'll drain the oil first, undo the final drive, and pull that off and replace the seal. The oil comes straight from the gearbox there and just goes through that top bearing. Those bearings seem fine, but there's been a lot of crap in there. Look at that. It's a fairly old tractor, so I suppose it's not unexpected. It'll all need a good clean up before it goes back together. I'll have to make another gasket for that because that one ripped on the way out. So I've just got to pop that bearing off. Oh yeah, that bearing just pulls out of there. Okay, so that shaft should come out as that gear comes off. Got it. Oh, that's my biggest socket and it's too small. So I'm going to have to get a bit shade tree on this one. Jam a rag in there to stop the gear moving. Bearings seem okay. Now there's a collar. It's quite messy in there. A ring. She goes. So I think that's the culprit there, that piece of twine, which is just eating up the seal. Unless they put that in there to seal it, I don't know. Anyway, that's got to come out. Yep, so that's got to come out. Try and get some numbers off that. And get a new one. AQ7747E. And I'll need one of those and this inner part here, which is fairly well worn out. So I'll get those ordered. Alright, the gasket is broken on this, so I'll just rip that off and make a new one. It's come apart. Right, I'll cut out a new gasket with gasket paper, but first I need to make an imprint on the gasket paper, so I'll use some grease, rub the grease around that mating surface, and then I'll lay it on the gasket paper and it will leave an imprint of where I need to cut. Yep, that's pretty good. Right, one gasket. That should do the job. Right, the new seal has arrived. It's a bit of a challenge to get it, being a grey market machine. I had to really pester them to send it to me, but got there in the end. So that looks like the same one. Yep, basically the same. Looks good, so I have to get that sleeve off the shaft. Create a bit of leverage in behind there, sort of working my way around. Got like a rubber seal on the inside there. Interesting. Grease on that inside surface. Okay, that seal is all the way on there. So we'll get some grease on the outside of that seal. We'll get some grease in there. It's going to last a bit longer if it's all greased up. So I'll give these parts a good clean before I put them all back in. So it was that ring first, that spacer, and then this with A facing upwards, wiggle it down.
When that spins that way, then that spins that way.
See? That's called the final drive.
It's going the same way.
Yeah, well this end goes to the motor, doesn't it, this bit?
Mm-hmm.
And it spins that.
Yeah.
That bit goes on the wheel.
Yeah.
Yep. Very good. I really need to get a set of decent big spinners. This is not the best tool for the job. But anyway, it'll do the job. That surface is a bit corroded and slightly pitted around the outside, so I'll just give that a very light skim with the flapper disc to get that flat again. I don't want to gouge in, I just want to flatten it off and get back to bare metal. That's perfectly alright, there's no oil leaks and everything's nice and smooth, so call that job done I think. Like before, it would have been dripping down here after parking it up for 5 minutes, but there's nothing at all there now, so that's how it should be. I can put the old girl back to work now. I'll put this chipper on and chip up a few branches.